Hello everyone and welcome to the 2022 Northwoods Open, powered by Innova. We're at Sandy Point Resort and Disc Golf Ranch, one of my favorite places on the planet. Matt Hanne is your early leader. Andrew Kenny on the card. Michael Wright, the third to join, and rounding out the foursome, Ross Rippier. They played the Loon Silver layout during the first round. Today, we're playing Championship Sunday on the Walleye Blue layout. 27 holes in play. So we're giving you the front half right here. A little bonus coverage from one of my favorite places. Matt opened up the tournament with a 16 under. Now we're going to be playing to the blue pins that you'll see. You'll see the shorter silver baskets, the PDGA baskets that are on the course. However, we're playing to the blue ones throughout the round. Michael Wright on that left side. And almost getting the ace on the wrong hole. Black ace, brown ace, gray ace. Everybody refers to them differently depending on if it was intentional, if it's on the same hole or otherwise. But you really want to just skip in front of the short basket to get to the long pin. Good bid by Matt, but short. Similar look here for Ross. Here's Andrew Kenny, who we saw on the lead card last year for this event. Grab some right side chain, but it's not enough to keep it in. Matt's opening round was a 1024. Andy's 1,007, along with Michael Wright's 15 under, both rated 1,007. Ross's 10 under, or excuse me, Ross's opening round was a 998. Hard pan, the dirt you're going to have to deal with here on many holes at Sandy Point Resort. Not uncommon to be playing for the skips. And knowing that's one of the easier ones to get at 222. Lead card, maybe a little jitters here on Sunday. That looks to be clear, so a look here for Matt. Hole 2, just 208 feet. If you've got the forehand, that's definitely the gap to take. There's more congestion overall on the right-hand side. However, the trees definitely come into play quicker on the left side. So if you get past those, your chances are much better with the forehand shot. Caught up early. Still have a long look.
Outside, yeah?
Good confirmation here from Matt. Wants to double check with the group that he's outside the 10-meter circle. And if you're this far into disc golf watching this event, I'm guessing you know what the 10-meter circle means, that you can't fall forward during a putt.
Yep.
Michael is short. And I apologize, I don't have the number in front of me, but Michael is not short on playing disc golf, as he has now put together a few thousand days of consecutive play, as we see the sweet birdie here by Andy. Nice putt. Maybe I can get that number for you here by the time I wrap up coverage. Somewhat of a slow start here for the card. You really need to be picking up birdies in these first couple of holes. Of course, there's a stretch on the course where things get much more difficult, but some of these early holes are ones you have to go out and get. Andy's going straight ahead here on 3. Basket pretty much dead straight. Shorter position is down and to the left. This one is longer, but straight ahead. It's like drop off behind the pin as well. Familiar with that spot, apparently. And it's easy for a disc to get up and roll, possibly get away from you here. There is a drop off down and to the right directly behind the pin. You could go off to the left, or you could possibly even roll to hole 4's tee. So you have to be somewhat tentative when you're on this particular green.
They'll start falling eventually.
Andy was caught up by the trees directly behind the pin. Otherwise, a roll could have gone even more down the hill. And he's going to tickle a chain, but it's not going to be enough. No, that's not a caterpillar coming into frame. Unfortunately, we got a little mic leak. Although, there's plenty of caterpillars to be seen up there in the Northwoods. Well, Michael said that's where he always is, and if that means birdie, you're not complaining about that. And we move on. You can pick up some sweet Sandy Point Resort stamp discs. Of course, you can find them at sandypointproshop.com. See that Mike has been a vendor of discs, specifically of Innova, for more than 30 years now. Carry a wide variety of stuff you can find in the Pro Shop, both online and in person, as that's a near ace run just past the pin. And most importantly, he's going to have a clean look to the basket. It's very easy to find yourself hidden behind a few of these guardian trees and have an awkward look at the basket. But that also flashes just in front of the basket. If you've got a forehand, this is definitely the shot for it. Of course, a gentle turnover or something that just plays straight and gives yourself a 20 or 30 footer is the way to go here. But these guys making it look so easy with the forehand. And I think we've got 4 looks for birdie. See if Matt can kick off a star frame here. That's a good start. Not a problem for Andy. And I expect to see the next 2 are a little closer. Not a problem for Mike. And Ross is in, completing the star frame. Not necessarily uncommon out here. Find a few star frames. Hopefully this will get the group going. we head to hole 5. Hole 5 plays uphill with a very sharp turnover. Not quite at 90 degrees, but it definitely is a hard turn to the right once you get to the top of the hill. Angle being very difficult, and hitting a guardian tree feels almost inevitable. So the first shot was safe. This one hits the tree, carries over toward the next fairway. Some barrier between the two fairways, but that is clean and a beautiful looking shot. And with the high forehand, and ultimately that will filter down. 263 feet, easily plays 3, maybe even 310 or 320 on just an Anheuser line the entire way if you're going with a righty backhand shot. And then once you crest the hill, you somewhat just need to weave through all of these trees, and you see that Mike here has come up just short of the shorter pin. That's, oh, and he connects with the tree. That to the short pin is 210. To the long pin that they're playing is 263. You can see even just getting to the short pin, not necessarily an easy task. Bid by Ross is short.
Jay Blake? Oh, almost got the Jason Blake on camera. You gotta commit.
You good, bro?
Yeah, I'm fine. I thought I made that.
All right.
Mike getting completely razzed as the squirrel's running around back and forth, making noises. Trying to save the par after the very unforced error on the previous hole, or on the previous throw, and that one is off to the right and taking it in stride here. Now still has some work to do on the comeback. Certainly can be a theme out here, is if you do miss, you're not guaranteed a clear returning putt. Good concentration by Mike.
Do you mark and I mark, or what? I just mark on your disc, on your rule. I don't think so. You can combine the two pitches. Well, I don't have another one with me. You want me to mark? Yeah, just mark here.
Okay, a little conversation here as to marking a disc, as to what protocols and procedures are. Good move. Not necessarily disappointed with a par here on this hole. I know it's just 263, but that angle is so steep. A birdie to the short hole feels good. A birdie to the long feels somewhat like a bonus. We head over to hole number 6. Hole 6, we're playing from the short tee to the blue basket at 347 feet. There is a long tee on this hole that makes things much more difficult. And there's really two routes you can take. You can take this lefty Anheuser route, or excuse me, just a backhand Anheuser around the left side, or you can push up the right side. The gap isn't quite as big, and it's tougher to penetrate longer if you're going up the right side. But there is certainly a Heiser route if you're looking to go to the right. And you see the short pin, the silver loon pin. Oh, it gets the kick he was looking for, but not necessarily the roll he wanted. Kick was good, roll not so much. Long bid now. Here's Andy. If Matt can make up for the roll. Now, and you see some obstruction between him and the pin, then also probably creating either a visual and or actual obstacle. Not only dealing with him in terms of making him think about the putt, but then also possibly impeding his stance or his lie or his swinging motion.
I did it at an A tier last weekend.
And Michael is tapping in, and as of June 7th, 2022, so just 2 months before this, Michael had played 3,200 consecutive days of disc golf. Put in that perspective, so add another, 60 by the time this event took place, and then think about that for 1 second. Off the top.
Oh, I got $1 for you.
Playing with the 51 mentality. 5 for the ace, $1 for medal. Matt still has work to do. He's going to go past the short pin. Some quick math will tell you guys. 3,200 consecutive days. Again, roughly 3,260 by the time of this event taking place. That's just a few days short of 9 years. 9 years of playing at least 9 holes of golf every single day. Just let that sink in for a moment. And this is conditions in Wisconsin where it's been 20 and 30 below. I met him out at the course one day when it was about 30 below, and I wanted to document it at that time. That was only when he was like 5 or 6 years into it. So the dedication is truly unparalleled. Birdie pays off on 7. And pars are not going to cut it out here. Not on this course with so many opportunities for birdie. We're going to head over to hole 8, 220 feet uphill. No sound is usually good sound here. 220, plays at least 250, maybe closer to 260. And you cannot hit that hanging branch that he goes just underneath, or excuse me, the slanted branch. That comes up short. That would be parked for the short pin. And a disc that either hits or possibly rolls could go all the way to the right and out of bounds onto the road. Not that common, but it certainly is in the back of your mind when you throw an errant shot, thinking you're going to get punished even more with going OB.
Dude, are you fucking kidding me?
Late tree, and that's exactly what I was talking about. You're hoping to not hear anything after a release here. This is going to be a long putt. And it slopes down behind the basket, so it's easy to be tentative because you don't want to be caught up in the trees directly behind the pin. That's the most common mistake. You get aggressive because you want the birdie. You put yourself behind some of the trees, and the next thing you know, you're taking a bogey. Let's see if that punishes him or not. That's exactly what I was talking about. And here's what I mean. When you go deep of this pin, you have to contend with these trees coming back. But apparently, that's not a problem for Andy.
Never had a doubt. I think the tree did that. Yeah. I airballed.
Either way, it's in the bottom of the basket. Oh, and this looks like trouble. So you have a lane. So if there's one pro tip I can offer up, careful on the approach here of hole number 8 for that exact reason. And all you're thinking when you're putting for your par on this hole is, how did I not throw a better tee shot? Just a stock hyzer for a righty backhand thrower. It feels as if it's a pretty easy shot. An 8's long green claims another victim. Matt's in for bogey and Mike's in for bogey. Going the wrong way here. Check out sandypt.com. Of course, there's cabins right there on site. Usually booked up full for the year, but occasionally they have openings or get on a possible waiting list. 7 or 8 cabins on site, ranging from I think 4 to 14, somewhere in that neighborhood, could be hosted. Of course, all the disc golf you could possibly consume when you're here as a resident. And then we often have the team tournament takes place in the May-June time frame. And then everyone comes back around Labor Day for the Northwoods Open. Here's Matt.
Behind the big tree. Don't hit it.
Good looking shot to the long original pin here, and just like that, we're going to see a birdie picked up by Ross. I'm liking the looks of this. Clearly, distance isn't the challenge out here at Sandy Point, except for on a few of the holes. It's so much more about the accuracy in which you can bring to the course. Good challenge every part of your game, because there's no way you're keeping it clean on every fairway. So you're going to be forced to scramble. You're going to be forced to throw probably some forehands, maybe some rollers, maybe forehand rollers. A little bit of everything that's offered on the course. Here we are on hole 10. 231. This plays down the valley and back up. You're hoping to throw straight across. And you see the silver pin coming into play. It's going to be just beyond that by about 30 feet. Beautiful shot there by Ross. And it's not fun. Some of my worst memories in disc golf are kicking down to the right on this hole and being insanely frustrating. Yeah, that was the late 90s, and I still don't want to be down there 20 years later.
Good shot, man.
If there's any way he can fight himself out of here. And as he said, sarcastically, that's going to be fun. It's not. So still not out. You can see the basket up on the left side of your screen there. Might have a lane, and he'll be pitching up. That's going to look like a par, hopefully coming in for, or excuse me, a bogey coming in for Mike. Matt sitting even par so far, but now moves to 1 under on the round. Nice birdie. Also coming in from Andy. So 3 birdies and the bogey. Gonna make Mike's round that much more difficult here as he's vying for a title up here at Sandy Point Resort. I was lucky enough to take this event down. One of the better wins in my disc golf career and history. I think the year was 2006. Left side and short, but not too bad of a kick. Anything that's fairway or within 5 feet of fairway is where you really want to be here.
Local.
Oh, and he's peered this. Gets a little roll. There's kind of a ridges on both the left and the right side of this pin. Hoping for a kick, because that's a world of trouble if you're down and on the left side. Looks like he carried even more than I expected, so he's near the short pin. And there's multiple lanes to get back out to the fairway. And apparently he's found one. That sounds clean.
Great shot, Mike. Full cat. You got that.
Also, fighting his way out, finding fairway, shouldn't be a problem. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You see a couple forehands here off from the left side. You're seeing a nice patent pending from the right side. Now you got somewhat of an elevated putt here coming up.
From Narnia. Yeah, I shouldn't have been there. It was the only gap to the green.
And one of the better drives that you're going to see on this hole for sure. As often as the MPO CTP hole, at least it was for many years as I played. And if you got a birdie here, you were pretty ecstatic because that meant you avoided the danger of, I don't know, a 6 or a 7, because it's so easy to get caught up in both sides of the fairway here and then try to have the hero shot to get out. So any kind of putt, let alone a park job on that hole, huge bonus. We head over to 12. This is going to play down the tunnel. You want to miss the power line hole, or miss the power line, and then kind of veer off to your left. If you're coming in at that power line with a low backhand skip, you're going to be in good position. But these guys pulling it right and then kicking short left, that's going to be trouble. I like the sound of it. He's calling it might be too far left. It may have just come in too early, but that's generally the line you want to put on it. If you're keeping it up in the air, if you're keeping it lower, like I said, you can be coming in with a fast skip right at that pole. Looking for a 40 or 50 foot skip. And we'll see how that treats Mike, but that looks good. Still has to get around the corner. Not a bad line here for Matt. Ross appeared to be, I'm going to call it, scared of those trees, not wanting to hit those early on the way in, so hung it out way out to the right. And Mike's going to walk away at the birdie, claim the honors as they'll head over to 13. Directly behind Ross there is the Sandy Point Pro Shop. Thousands of discs, along with Dream Life designs and jewelry. Tons of goodies you can certainly go pick up right there on site. As I said, one of Wisconsin's earliest and first pro shops. Located up here in the Northwoods of Wisconsin, near Minocqua. And if you're ever wondering where in the world Adam Hammis is from, as you hear often hear various announcers butcher the name of the city, it's Minocqua, and that is located just about 10 minutes east of where this is taking place right now. So, tying it all together, Adam Hammis from the Northwoods of Wisconsin as well. Of course, played countless rounds out here at Sandy Point.
Here's the punishment I deserved.
329 with a gentle dogleg right. So you need to throw it basically dead straight to the pin and then take a gentle right turn to about a 2 o'clock position. And that's where you'll find the much longer pin. But there's a pinch point just past this short pin.
I guess we'll see.
As he says, we'll see.
Nice shot, eh?
Thank you.
Unless you've thrown a perfect drive, you won't be disappointed with a par here. It is so easy to pull your shot early right off the tee or hit something and kick hard left like we're seeing where Matt went. So he's looking for the hard scramble to try and get up and down, and that's going to be a solid approach there. But if you said, hey, I'm going to come up to this tournament and can you give me par on both rounds? I'm not going to, get greedy, or I'm not going to take a bogey. Just give me par. You'd be okay with that. There's another one where strokes can add up easily. Another scramble attempt for par. Long look for Mike, and it's off the top.
All right.
Good round, Mike.
Thanks.
Now, if you put your drive here, clearly you're looking for the birdie, but Matt trying to save par, and he's going to do just that. Andy's in for the par. Ross looking to clean up the same. A couple solid scrambles. 3 great scrambles for that matter. Mike did have the long look for birdie, but not losing any ground with a par. We'll head over to our final hole of the front half. Again, the round 27 holes. Oh, and weaving through the first gap or two, or what seems to be a gap. It's going to be short right side for Mike.
Oh, that was the worst shot I've ever done.
I don't know if that's the worst shot. That's
short.
pretty good, but it does hit late.
That's what we were supposed to do. All right.
And Ross has it dialed in, at least best in the group there. As you see the pin on the right side of your screen mounted up in a stump. Certainly one of the more photographed holes out here, although I could think about 10 of them. You could certainly make an entire 12-month calendar out of unique looking holes on this particular course, and you finish with two of the most beautiful holes in disc golf. And a few other iconic ones out here as well. So get your calendars ready. Kids' calendars are those things that they were printed, they have the date on them, and you had to write things that you were going to do. You put it on a calendar. And Mike, not wanting any part of the deep green here. This is very similar. You get aggressive here with the somewhat elevated basket, and there's just a bunch of scattered trees directly behind the pin, and they're always going to frustrate you on a long comeback putt. In fact, anything outside of 25 or 30 feet, maybe even 20, 25 feet, are going to challenge you on a putt. So Mike, not even going after it. And we see Ross, it's a friendly kick off the tree. He'll stop short. This is on the short left side, so tree's not in play, but you could bring him into play with an air ball or a miss. A little hesitation. We'll pause. I don't know if you can thank the disc. I don't know, but we're going to thank Pastry Dice for helping out, getting us the bonus footage. Of course, Mike and Michelle Cousins, along with their presenting sponsor, an Innova Champion Disc. This is a stop on the Wisconsin Disc Golf Tour, something very near and dear to my heart, along with this very special venue. So thank you guys for watching. That's the front half. We're going to close it out. Thanks to all the sponsors. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment so I can give away some free jerky. And I'll see you guys for the back half.